In the velvet shroud of midnight, high above the Atlantic at 35,000 feet, Flight 247, a gleaming Boeing 777 on its red-eye journey from London's Heathrow to New York's JFK, carried a mosaic of lives in its business-class cabin, where the air hummed with the subtle symphony of privilege, the soft clicks of laptops sealing corporate empires, the rustle of silk scarves against cashmere sweaters, the faint clink of crystal glasses holding aged bourbon, and the low murmurs of conversations laced with power and entitlement, all under the dim glow of reading lights that cast long shadows across the aisles. At the rear, Senator Harold Vance, a silver-haired politician with a reputation for fiery speeches and backroom deals, lounged in his spacious seat, swirling his drink as he mentally dissected his upcoming committee hearing on defense spending, his eyes occasionally scanning the cabin like a hawk surveying its territory. Nearby, Claire Donovan, the social media influencer with her perfectly curated feed boasting 1 million followers on X, flipped through a digital magazine on her tablet, her red blazer impeccable, her diamond-studded earrings catching the light as she whispered snide remarks to Mark Ellison, the tech CEO beside her, whose gold watch ticked away the seconds of his billion-dollar day. Across from them, Richard Holt, the hedge fund manager in his pinstripe suit, exchanged knowing glances with his colleague Derek, whose Rolex gleamed as a symbol of their shared success, while Susan Grayson, the sharp-tongued corporate lawyer, adjusted her glasses and typed furiously on her laptop, her tailored skirt pseudo-armor against the world. In C-12A, Ellen, a woman of old money evident in her pearl necklace and sleek bob haircut, watched over her 6-year-old daughter Lily in 12B, who clutched a unicorn backpack and scribbled vibrant colors onto a pony drawing, her pigtails bouncing with innocent energy. But in 12C, by the window, sat Anna Miller, a stark contrast to this tapestry of affluence, her faded jeans tucked under a slight frame, scuffed sneakers with frayed laces peeking out, a threadbare gray hoodie hanging loose like a shield, her dark hair pulled into a messy bun with stray strands framing a makeup-free face, cheap earbuds dangling forgotten around her neck, and a small, worn backpack shoved under the seat, its fabric bearing faint stains from untold adventures. To the passengers, Anna was an intruder, a pale, ordinary shadow that disrupted their carefully maintained illusion of superiority, drawing sharp, cutting glances that appraised her like a flaw in a priceless gem. Whispers began almost immediately, low but piercing, as if her presence was a personal affront. When Lily's water cup tipped over, splashing Anna's sleeve with a cold trickle, Ellen gasped theatrically, "Oh, honey, be careful," dabbing at the damp fabric with a napkin while her eyes flicked disapprovingly over Anna's outfit, her apology clipped and insincere, laced with a subtle purse of lips that spoke volumes of unspoken judgment. Richard leaned toward Derek, his voice a conspiratorial murmur carrying through the hum. "She looks more like a homeless person than a first-class passenger. How did she even get in here?" Derek chuckled, adjusting his tie with smug amusement. "Probably scraped together some points. No way she's paying full fare like the rest of us." Claire caught the remark, leaning to Mark with a smirk. "I bet she's in the wrong cabin altogether. Look at those sneakers, straight out of a thrift store dumpster." Mark nodding as he sipped his wine. "Someone should politely suggest she head back to coach. This is ruining the vibe." Anna didn't flinch, her eyes half closed as she leaned toward the dark window, the reflection of stars flickering across her calm face, but her fingers brushed the worn fabric of her sleeve, then tightened, subtly on her backpack strap, a flicker of tension betraying the impact of their words, her thumb absent-mindedly tracing a small, faded patch sewn onto the bag. A pair of wings crossed with a sword, an insignia from a life long buried, unnoticed by the mocking eyes around her. Lily paused her coloring, crayon hovering, and whispered curiously to Ellen, "Why is her jacket so old, Mommy?" "She seems nice. She didn't get mad about the water." Ellen shushing her with a forced smile, patting her head, but her own gaze lingered on Anna with a blend of pity and discomfort, as if trying to reconcile the enigma. Further up, Greg Thornton, the tanned real estate mogul in his linen suit fresh from a Mediterranean yacht escape, muttered to a neighbor, "Think she's one of those budget hackers who snuck into business? That backpack looks like it belongs in economy," sparking more soft laughter that rippled like a wave, while Susan Grayson added, "Definitely an intern or charity case, Standards are slipping if they're letting riffraff like her up here. The cabin's judgment built like a gathering storm, each whisper adding layers to the invisible barrier around Anna, who remained stoic, her breathing steady, but her hand now tapping a light, imperceptible rhythm on the armrest. Altimeter check, fuel gauge steady, horizon level, a pilot's instinctive checklist ingrained from years in cockpits far more hostile than this one. The plane dipped into a pocket of turbulence, a sudden jolt that rattled overhead bins and sloshed drinks, eliciting gasps and gripped armrests, but it passed, and the passengers relaxed, Richard grumbling about emails, Claire snapping a quick selfie for her ex-story. Rough skies but first-class luxury, Senator Vance sipping deeper into his bourbon. Anna's tapping paused as she reached down, pulling her backpack closer, a tiny metal jet keychain dangling from the zipper glinting briefly under the lights before she tucked it away, her shoulders stiffening just enough to hint at the weight she carried, the memories it evoked, of roaring engines, high-G maneuvers, and a call sign that once commanded respect. A woman in a silk scarf, her perfume cloying in the recirculated air, turned to her banker husband. "I don't understand why they allow people like her in here. It diminishes the entire experience," he agreeing with a nod. Indeed, standards everywhere are eroding. Anna's fingers brushed the zipper again, where a small tear revealed a glimpse of yellowed paper inside. An old letter, perhaps a mission report, zipping it shut with precise movements, her jaw clenching momentarily as she stared out at the endless night, the passengers' voices a constant hum of disdain piling onto her silent resolve. Then, abruptly, the intercom crackled with urgency, slicing through the complacency like a blade. "Attention, this is your captain. We require immediate medical or piloting assistance. Is there a pilot on board?" The words hung heavy, igniting chaos, passengers twisted in seats, voices rising in frantic waves, Richard slamming his laptop with a pale face. What the hell? Claire's phone slipping from trembling hands. "This can't be real." Senator Vance setting his glass down with a tight jaw but staying seated, Ellen pulling Lily close. "It's okay, sweetie," though her eyes darted wildly. Josh, the young flight attendant, bolted down the aisle, face strained. "Doctor? Pilot? Anyone, please." Silence met him, the cabin's air thickening with terror, no one rising. In 12C, Anna stirred deliberately, eyes opening with calm certainty, as if she'd anticipated this twist, pulling her hoodie down, unzipping her backpack to retrieve the yellowed paper, tucking it into her pocket like a talisman, then standing sneakers. Silent on the carpet, Richard spotted her, scoffing loudly. "Don't tell me, the homeless girl's going to save us?" "This is a joke," Claire barking a nervous laugh. "She probably can't parallel park, let alone fly," Mark adding condescendingly. "Sit down, sweetheart, don't make it worse." Lily clutched Ellen, whispering, "Why are they mean?" as a polo-shirt man, flushed from wine, blocked Anna's path, slurring, "Back off, kid! You'll kill us all!" But Anna's gaze met his, unyielding and piercing, crumbling his bravado as he stepped aside. Josh hesitated, eyeing her attire. "Ma'am, we need qualified help," Susan chiming. "She's been sleeping, now playing hero?" Insane. Laughter echoed cruelly, but Anna pressed on, voice low and clear to Josh. "I flew F-18s. Take me to the cockpit." The cabin froze, words exploding like a bomb, laughter vanishing into stunned silence, Richard's jaw dropping, Claire blinking in shock, Tom the retired Marine leaping up. "F-18s? Navy fighters. Only aces fly those." Josh nodded hastily, leading her forward as murmurs shifted, Susan muttering doubtfully, "No way she's legit." In the cockpit, the captain slumped unconscious, sweat slicked and pale, co-pilot Ryan gripping controls with white knuckles, frowning at Anna. "You a civilian? In that getup?" Outside, shouts leaked through. "Don't risk us on her." Susan screaming, "We'll crash." Ryan skeptical, "You know what you're doing." Anna slid into the seat wordlessly, hands dancing over controls with innate grace, steadying the yoke, fingers brushing her worn ring, a silver band from her late husband, a fellow pilot lost in the mission that killed her too, anchoring her as a vivid memory surged. A sun-baked airbase, her F-18 roaring, call sign Night Viper 12 on her suit, commander gruffly praising. Best damn aviator we have, Miller. Then the explosion, the Kia report, her survival in shadows. The plane leveled, Ryan staring awed, as turbulence hit again, lurching sharply, screams echoing, but Anna adjusted flawlessly. On the radio comm. Night Viper 12 requesting clearance. Tower replying frantic. Impossible, your Kia 5 years back. Ryan's head whipped. Cabin silencing, Tom whispering. A ghost pilot. A radar storm flashed red. Jagged clouds ahead. Plane shaking violently. Passengers panicking. Richard shouting. Fraud. Claire praying. But Anna found a thin path. Threading through. Ring brushed for strength. Another memory. Her husband's beach proposal. My eternal wingman. Waves crashing. His loss shattering her, grounding Night Viper 12 until now. Lily's voice pierced. She'll save us, Mommy. Ellen tearing up. As the plane broke free into clear blue, cheers exploding. Anna landed smoothly, Will's kissing tarmac. Cabin sobbing in relief. Applause thundering as she emerged unchanged. Lily waving her drawing, and a subtle smile flashing. Airport erupted. Reporters swarming. Passengers ashamed. Colonel Daniel saluting. Welcome back. Night Viper 12, we mourned you. Gasps rippled. Richard paling. Claire horrified. Susan slumping. Heroes unmasked in hoodies. Fallout swift. Richard fired amid viral mockery. Hashtag classless guys trending. Claire's deals vanished. Headlines blaring. Susan's firm cut ties. Vance's donors fled. Greg's empire cracked. Anna walked on. Backpack slung. Ring grounding. Silence her armor. Crowd parting for the reborn legend. At the Jones Life Stories, remember, true heroes rise from underestimation. Embrace your inner strength. Hit like if inspired. Share to motivate others. Subscribe for more tales of triumph over judgment. And comment your own story of resilience below.